I'm going to put you out here kind of on an angle because we're going to need you to see me carry that pump out here. Now this thing is way too heavy for one guy, so I'm going to do it by myself because, you know, why not? This thing is heavy, dude. Hit myself in the chin. Left some permanent creases in my skin. Wow. Oh boy. The thing is just too heavy to try and put it over on that frame and then swing it in. I just don't think I can do it by myself. Then we're gonna have to take that air compressor off so I can do the injection lines. And I think we got one bad pump, which we'll see. I don't have the tool to take it out. We're gonna have to stick it up in there and see. Now, I know I don't want to change these O-rings once they're in the truck, because I did that already and it wasn't any fun. I do need to put those new O-rings in. I got them right here, and so I'll spin this thing upside down. I'll pick those out. I'll Permatex in the new ones. I'm gonna let them sit, and then we're gonna decide exactly what we're doing. Make sure these bolts fit these holes. Ah. Ouch. take that hose off. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm going to take this hose off right here. Probably should have taken it off in advance, but okay. All right, let's see. Yeah. Come down a little bit. Okay. All right. Now, just got to go over there, and then over there, and then go up a little. So what I'm trying to do is get this nut started. So I'm gonna pick it up and just see if I can get it started. Probably gonna be right in your way, but if I can get it started, then I can let the weight down. Oops, moving you all over the place.
Got get it?
About.
Looks like a damn truck job over here.
Nope.
Need to go down.
Yeah, it just didn't when I let it down. Let it down just fuzz. Oh, nope. It ain't going. It's yeah, cause it's crooked. It's crooked. It weighs 1,000 pounds, you know. It's heavy. I'm gonna move this back a little bit.
There, we move it in. We go up.
Yeah, look. But if it runs good, I'll finish paint. Finish wiring. Yeah, and I'll paint it up. You think so? Do you think I'll do it?
No.
Nope. We got the injection pump mounted, and we'll go through and make sure all them bolts are tight. We'll get that timing advance locked in. We'll get the pump turned around and pinned down. We'll get the timing advance locked in. Then we'll unpin that and the motor, and it's good. We'll put the rest of these injection lines on. Start fiddle-faddling a little bit with the electrical. We'll get the truck so it powers up, and we'll get that on-off solenoid fixed. We'll get some lines and stuff put on here, and we'll try and get this truck running this weekend. Will it start? Oh boy, it better. Hey, what's up, guys? Man, nice day out today. Cloudy, might rain, cool, no wind. So we're just gonna take advantage of getting some stuff done while we can. And you'll notice I'm standing here next to this gorgeous piece of machinery. Oh, Black Betty, blam-a-lam. And so continuing on from yesterday, day before yesterday actually, we're just doing some touching up on the injection pump. We're gonna go through, make sure all the bolts are tight. We can put some injector lines on. I got 2 new injector lines, 4 old injector lines. Got some new injector lines on order, but I want to start this truck today, so we'll put some old injector lines on. We're gonna get the timing cone off. We'll get the timing. We'll get this pump timed. The motor is timed right now, and so we'll get the pump timed, and then we'll put the timing advance on. We'll get that tightened up, the cone back on. Hook up the air fuel controller. Grab the fuel shut off, slap it in there. Make sure we got that working. We'll plumb up some fuel lines. We'll put a hand pump on there. We'll see if we can get some fuel flowing. And then we'll, of course, as soon as we get the pump pinned and the timing done, we'll unpin the motor and the pump so we don't forget, because it makes a mess when you try and start it when it's pinned. And then we'll see about getting some fuel flow, and maybe pop this thing off. Probably call my cousin and have him stop over, and you know, because he built the motor, and he probably would like to be here for the first start. So if the thing hammers a rod or something breaks off inside, he'll know that it was his fault, not my fault. And we're hoping nothing like that even is remotely possible. But for now, let's get this timing cone off. Let's get this pump timed. Let's get the timing advance installed, tightening the cone back on. We'll finish up some fuel lines, maybe run some battery cables, slap some batteries in this old girl. I do have 1 set of batteries left, so we'll get those batteries thrown in here, and we'll see if this old thing will crank up. Now, we don't have radiator hoses on this thing, so we're gonna have to make something happen there. I don't remember if it had hoses. Maybe I could match up and get some hoses, but I think the bottom one's just a straight shot. No, it's not a straight shot, it's a... And so we'll get a look at that. We'll try and get some hoses on this thing. We got to make, we got to clean up the intercooler hoses. This one over here is going to be kind of a pain in the butt. We got to remember to untape that intake manifold, or this thing's never going to start. But let's get after it. Let's get some stuff done. Let's get this motor running. And of course, my cousin glued these covers on, so there's no way for me to get it off without marring the paint. Yeah, and so this gasket was glued on, so when it tore it off, it tore the gasket. So now I need a new gasket. Instead of them just putting it on here without glue, knowing I had to get back in there. So right in this area, there's a cap. You remember that from Franny's oil leak probably. But this is just an oil plug. Of course, it's annoying, but and then we got to turn this and drop a pin in there. So let me go get a pin and a turner. All right, so I don't know if I can make you see in there or not, but can you see in there? There's a slot in that thing. Let me anyways, I'm gonna put this bolt in. There he goes. All right, and then put a gear in here. Then the timing advance, and then the timing advance bolts onto these bolts, and it squeezes that gear tight against this collar, and then that keeps the pumping time. All right, so I think this gear goes in this way, and All right. All right, now what I'm going to do is, each one of these bolts is going to get some blue Loctite. But first what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the timing unit in and get a bolt lined up. And I'm going to take some of these bolts out. These bolts don't have any washers. Okay, and so that works. We're going to just pick another hole. They should be lined up though. Yep. So I'm going to get some blue Loctite and start going around and putting these bolts in. We'll clean the oil off of them with a rag, and then we'll put just a Scotia blue Loctite on the threads and stick it in there one at a time, and then we'll tighten it up. My fault that the engine's getting all scarred up right now, but we'll get it clean. I gotta paint the pump anyways. We'll get the thing clean and paint this couple of pieces that I'm scalding up a little bit. This timing advance may have to come off again. We don't know. We don't know what this pump condition is. I believe all these bolts are tight now. Yep. And so there. That's done. We can take this pin out now, put this plug in. We can unpin the engine. Okay, so the pump is unpinned. Move you over here a little bit. And then I don't think you can see from there, so we're going to go up. All right, now you see back here on the block, here's a pin as well. So the engine is officially unpinned at this moment. We're going to get, now what we're going to do, we're going to put this hose back on. This is coolant, I believe. So we're going to get this hose back on, this one. Then we're going to get these hoses. And this is going to be, I'm going to put a pump on and a feed line and then a filter and a pump and some lines. And this tube right here goes from here to here. And then we're going to get all this wiring wrapped up and laid up out of the way. And then we'll pump some fuel in this. We'll crack some ejector lines and we'll pump it up. And we'll run some battery cables and some batteries and a starter button. And we'll get this cover uncovered and find a board. And we'll wear this thing over and see what happens. Be back. What's that fuel look like in there, John boy? Johnny Ringo?
Look black.
That's what we like. Get you a sucky and get you some out and see what it looks like. Anyways, this is the fuel shut off. It's a Caterpillar one. 125-5773. 12 volts DC. Now, It shouldn't matter which one's positive and which one's negative. But what does matter is that there's not a nut on there. So we're gonna find a nut first. And then we've got to figure out some of this wiring. And it's unfortunate that that the guy who took it all apart's not here. But so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this bolt out, and this is a really long bolt, but I'm gonna assume that the dirty side goes backwards, you know. So we got a shut off on here. I'm not sure that it's actually right, but we'll see. And then I put the Jake switch, which is also the idle screw, in there, so that's good. We're gonna need a fuel return line. I assume that's this thing right here. We'll what?
I have mastered it.
You have what, bub?
Mastered it. Where you fill up the top part,
Yeah.
start autoing.
Oh, you figured out how to make it auto.
Yeah.
Nice. It'll be right above you here so I can see.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see. That's a too short one.
Okay, so what I would say probably happened is the old starter was upside down, right? So the solenoid was down below.
That's what I'm thinking.
And so if it were me, can you come up between the frame? Can you go over that bracket? Is that a yes or no? Alright, so what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna try and figure out, looks like this has a cable drive tack, so I'm gonna have to get the tack drive off another pump and put on this one. So for now that don't need to be here. What's this thing? Something comes in and out. Alright, cable for the clutch. I don't know. What's this? Oh yeah, for the gas pedal. So we'll need to be moving this thing. Forgot this throttle don't work worth a shit. Oh yeah, it's on the floor. So we won't be using that right now. We'll just use this here. So I don't know, we might turn that starter over. And you made sure that thing was flush and you're not going to snap an ear off it, right?
No, sir.
Okay, good deal. I like to not snap an ear off it, you know?
Well, no.
Alright, so we got, this truck should have 4 batteries. But I don't have a 4th battery. So this truck's going to get a 3-pack. And we'll see. Alright guys, so what we did is I had Johnny touch the red side of the ohm meter to the 2 we suspected that were grounds or positive, and that ended up being those. And then these that we already had previously marked with a black zip tie here, these are the grounds. And so there should be 4 batteries, but I only have 4. So we're gonna have 3 batteries. I got the batteries hooked up, and I'm just gonna put these 2 on positive and then those 2 on negative. Johnny will have the starter done in a minute. And then we're gonna make sure that the starter will bump the motor over. And then we're gonna work on the putting power to the fuel solenoid. Now watch. Put it on there. Look at that. See how much nicer that is, Johnny? No muss, no fuss.
Now stick her on.
I'm gonna put it down there and stick this bolt in. And then once I get this bolt started, then you can have it. All right, manipulate it. Look at that. Like it's supposed to be there, you know what I mean?
Yep. I left my big one.
You got the positive one tight, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so now I'm gonna attempt to test this.
Don't blow yourself out the box.
I could. Could happen.
Enough juice in there too?
Huh?
Enough juice in there too?
These three? And where?
In that box to blow you out?
Oh no, I don't know. Enough to make my sweat burn a little bit. Oh man, come on. All right, we're gonna put that one right there. Yep, we'll put this on there. I don't like these battery cables. We're gonna be having some new ones. I didn't pay a guy. I was gonna pay a guy, and he tore this whole thing apart and then just walked away from it. And it would have been better if I just would have never.
Had somebody come in and do it.
Yeah, because now it's way worse than it was.
I'll never forget the first video you made on us thing out in the woods.
Yeah.
You had Arky Sparky going on.
Oh yeah, we had some trouble figuring out what made her tick, you know.
Yeah. You had the fireworks going.
Okay, so let me touch this. Ooh, wow. That thing when it pokes you in the arm feels like you're getting electrocuted. Okay. So
That's
a good sign.
I think that's the ground.
Nope.
That's positive.
Yep. Remember what I said about the zip ties? You remember the conversation about the zip ties right here? See those two?
Yeah.
See how they got a zip tie in the end? Because when we tracked those down out there in the woods, for the 7 times that it took us to get them right, we marked them with zip ties, so they'd be right when we did it again. And so,
But you getting all fancy with just a regular ring.
yeah.
Instead of a crusher wrench.
Right, so then we're going to take one of these. We're just going to, yep, good. So we'll get this one done. If your dang old boss quit sidetracking you, all right, go do that. I'll get yours.
Alright.
Otherwise, I'm going to be sidetracking you left and right. Know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Hey, we're trying to get her worked up in the first start up.
Yep. My ADHD's kicking in. So what I did was I hooked up the ground side of the solenoid to the ground lug on the block that also goes to the starter. It also goes to the frame. So it's a good ground to all of the things. Now, one thing that we're not really familiar with quite yet is the what am I trying to say? Is the huh? Yeah, that for sure. We're gonna check and see if I can put this tack drive in this pump. I think we can. We got to find out where we can tap in for oil pressure. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, mechanical tack drive. Crazy.
They never fail.
Yep. They do go when the cable gets bad. Franny's got a mechanical tack cable, but the outside of the cable's all ate off by a mouse. So it's just the wire winding around in the dash. It's kind of cool. All right, so we're going to test this real quick. Listen up. Bring that starter button over here.
Alright.
Yep. This thing's ready for when we get going crazy. What? Alright guys, so it's a horrible place to put you. And but we're gonna keep you right here. And we're getting ready to start cranking out. We haven't turned it over yet. Johnny's just now hooking up the push button. We don't have any power going to the fuel solenoid. So there should be no way that it can start. We got a couple of things here. If it were to start and run off on us, Johnny's trying to damage his phone even more, but if it were to start and run off on us, we could cover this up. Problem is this plate's gone, and this is this plate right here. This is another one. Oh yeah, of course. So I think this goes on the intake manifold, Johnny. So take this and clean it up, clean it all up really good, and cut a gasket for it.
All right.
Let's see if it turns over first, because I know we're both kind of anxious for that. It should not be any way it can start, because there should not be any way fuel can get in there.
So nerve-wracking.
Okay, so we'll be getting it out of gear. It is definitely in gear. And it's a good thing it didn't start, because poor Tricia and everybody else would have been in trouble. Go ahead and pop it out of gear, bro. Don't step on that door though, okay? Step on the hinge. There you go. Yep, that starter's pretty good, ain't it? Dang near lurched the truck out into the parking lot. There it goes. Watch that oil pressure gauge. Anything?
I haven't seen nothing.
Huh?
Don't see no oil pressure.
What?
I don't see no oil pressure.
Well, I'm going to take this line off. It should have been pumping oil by now, for sure. Nothing covered me in oil. But it turns over nice.
Yeah. The starter's back.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is I'm about to make a new exit.
Yeah. Okay, we got oil. All right, so I'm sure Todd would be really appreciative of that oil coming out of there all over the motor. That's okay, we'll clean it up, you know. We'll get it. All right, now watch that oil pressure gauge. Whoa, we got oil. Hold up.
It started moving.
Yeah, it sure did. And then it pressurized this port out here and bad things happened. Okay, so now I've oiled the motor twice. I got to put an oil pressure into the air compressor. If I'm right, this needs a line right here from here to here. Go over yonder and see if there's a oil pressure line that goes from there to there on that new motor I just got. And if so, take it off and bring it over here. You see, I don't see one over here. So let's just see if that's a thing. All right, I'm glad that we've got
I'm glad the transmission worked.
yeah. By God, it sure does. Okay, good. That's plenty. Yeah. took it. I think I smell diesel exhaust. You smell diesel exhaust?
I don't know. I'll smell it from this side.
It'd be just coming out of the turbo over there. It wouldn't be coming from the exhaust, probably.
There's something coming out of there.
Yeah, we gotta be careful we don't crank the starter too much.
No, we don't want to fry it.
All right, touch that connector.
Contact.
All right, go back to what you was doing. I'm gonna try and get a little bit of fuel coming out of one of these lines up here before we crank on it anymore.
Contact.
Got some fuel in this one. This one's making some fuel. She's gonna go pop, 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 pop. She's gonna go pop, 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 pop. She's gonna go pop, 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 pop. Are we recording? Hold on. Gotta tighten this line. We don't want a huge leak. You can have it open.
Contact.
Just remember, if it starts, let it off.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to let it rest a little bit. Well, we know the pump's pumping because we're getting fuel. Okay, you got it on? And you can just leave it on. You don't have to turn it off unless it starts. Okay, that one's getting fuel. All I can say now is if this is timed properly, it should start now when I put this on, because that's four injectors that got fuel.
Bye.
Let's see if this thing will run now that the battery's up. All right, here we go. All right, hold on. We gotta.
Fuel leak?
No, we just gotta get the idle screw. Yeah. Sounds like it's missing on one.
Cylinder or two?
Yeah. All right, let's try it again. Will it start? Yep. Does it run good? Nope.
Smoky, yes.
Yeah, we got to get some stuff done. But yep, there it is. We'll be back. All right, so well, we did get it started, but we are working on some coolant leaks and other stuff. I didn't plumb in coolant. The air compressor, I got to do that. I got to try and get a fitting out of another motor, and it's missing. It's only running on maybe 5 cylinders, so we might have to bleed that injector line. But we need to get the coolant problems resolved first, and then once we get the coolant all figured out and the thing full of coolant, then we can get it warmed up, and we can try and get that other cylinder to come play games. But are you impressed? It got louder, but it really didn't go much faster.
No.
A ton of water leaks, but I want to get all the 6 cylinders firing, so we're gonna run it while it's full of water, and then by tomorrow there'll be 15 gallons of water on here. Here we go. Keep it running. Come with the oil pressure sets. Hurry up. Hello? Runs like shit.
Damn, what the?
Yep. Okay, go take that fan, put it at the back of the shop in front of the toolbox,
Alright.
blowing towards the door. Man, this truck runs like shit. All right, do the fuel. No. It's just cooking a lot of shit.
They shouldn't be.
Huh?
They
Well,
shouldn't be.
no. It's just, yeah, kind of. It's not, I don't think we're going to be able to rev it clean. That'll be a little better. I just don't think we're going to be able to rev it clean. I think it's missing some important shit. Oh man, make sure, okay. Get up in here. Don't burn yourself. We don't want any wiring touching anything that's not supposed to be touching. That was my fault there. I thought I had it all cleared out. What are you doing with that? Trying to put it in the fan? Trying to sabotage me, Johnny?
No.
Oh, all right. So I'm not really sure what's happening. It runs like pure dog shit. But I don't know why. I don't know if it's got an injector, a pump that's not working. But yeah, we can't do that in here. We don't have enough time in a day to do that in here. All right, so what we need to do is we need to you can give it 10 minutes before we do that, but every tool put away, clean down, put in the toolbox, search for anything missing. Then we're going to get the water out from underneath this. We're going to get that out here before that gets ruined. All the tools put away, and we're going to have to bring that truck outside if we're going to do any more of that.
Yeah.
Because a fella can't even see in there.
Hey, you're teaching John.
Man, but it ain't the smoke we need to be breathing. I wish that thing didn't run like shit.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so here's the deal. The shop's not on fire. Betty runs horrible. Like, if I had to say how horrible, it runs worse than any other engine I've ever had. Could be a number of things. We could have plunger not working on the pump. Could still have some air in one of the injector lines. May need to bleed it out.
You gotta get it out of the shop first.
Yeah, we can only run it for like 5 minutes in the shop. Plus it's water's pouring out everywhere. We need a piece of air line. We got to get the truck aired up. The shop is really, really smoky. Ah. Oh man.
Black spot in that door.
I'd like to say you're right, but I can't see it. Oh man, I gotta get out of here. All right.